CBS Sports welcomes you to the following presentation of the National Football League.
Tony Dungy and the Colts 2-0 for the third year in a row. They can start the season 3-0 for the fourth time in 5 years. For the Texans, this is uncharted territory. Gary Kubiak, the Houston native, has got his team off to a hot start, 2-0. They've won the toss. Adam Vinatieri kicks it off for the Colts. Jerome Mathis is the deep man. From the 2, here is Mathis down the middle. Mathis trying to get to the outside and cut down at the 20-yard line. Tim Jennings on special teams limits him to a 19-yard return. Houston Texans coming off the 34-21 win in Carolina last week. Our referee today, Pete Morelli.
Outside, number 55 of the kicking team. 5-yard penalty, will we kick?
And that is Clint Session. And they'll do it again. 54th consecutive sellout here at Reliance Stadium. And Texans fans have been waiting for a game with some meaning, as opposed to just playing for pride.
Absolutely. They've been playing for pride, and they've had that pride wounded. You know, this is a team, they're not intimidated by the Indianapolis Colts. I think they found out last year, week 16, where they ran the ball, consumed time of possession, kept Peyton Manning standing on the sideline. They understand they have an excellent opportunity to win this game. Their head coach, Gary Kubiak, says, but we have to play perfect. We played perfect in week 16 of last year, and we've got to play perfect here today.
Texans, the last team to beat the Colts, 27-24 on December the 24th, 2006. A lot of question marks following that game swirling around the Colts. It would be another early playoff exit. Not to be. Sometimes things can surprise you in the NFL when you least expect it. The Colts, who had been favored to go to the Super Bowl in previous years, finally busted through, and Peyton Manning and the Colts got their first title. Vinatieri, this one will take a roll over to Mathis. Scoops it up. Stops at the 30. Finds an opening. And Mathis crossing midfield. He's got the angle. Goodbye. Mathis takes it the distance. 84 yards. Touchdown, Houston.
You didn't have to wait long to get a big play here in Houston. They felt coming into this game they could dominate in the special teams. Jerome Mathis, the rookie from Lane College, also Jacoby Jones. They feel like both players possess the kind of speed you saw on that return that can break a special teams play wide open.
What a way to open up. Jerome Mathis had an 89-yard kickoff return for a touchdown against Indianapolis back in 2005.
They really didn't want to kick it to him. It's a squib kick. Tony Dungy did not want the ball in the hands of Jerome Mathis. He gets it. You get a missed tackle there. Excellent block. No one has an illegal block. You get even with Adam Vinatieri. It is over. The best Adam Vinatieri could do is pull a hamstring trying to catch Jerome Mathis. Again, watch the blocking here. It's really good blocking, and then the speed of Jerome Mathis does the rest. It's too much for the kicker, Adam Vinatieri.
Mathis, a Pro Bowler, as a return man a couple of years ago. Fourth-round pick back in 2005 and a difference maker on special teams.
And this is exactly what Tony Dungy did not want to happen. The Colts want to play with a lead. You allow Houston to get on the leading board. Now what they can do is run the football consume time off the clock, keep the ball away from Peyton Manning. The Colts want to be able to play with that lead where they force Gary Kubiak and his offense to have to throw the football. So if you're the Houston Texans, you have to be well pleased with this start because it plays right into your hands.
These are not your older cousins, Houston Texans.
Not even your older brother.
Exactly.
Houston Texans.
I went a little deeper on the family tree, but you get my drift here.
Absolutely.
Chris Brown, we talked about at the top, another weapon of the passing game. Joseph Adai is a Houston native. And he hurt the Texans last year on the ground. And it is loud early at Reliant. Handoff. On the delay, Adai bottled up. Loss of one. Shante a challenge. He'll get one today. Some movement. Texans are pointing in Indy's direction.
Ball start. Number 73 offense. 5-yard penalty. Remains. Second down.
So Jake Scott called on the false start. 2nd and 16 on the loss of 5. Defense urging the crowd to keep up the energy. Out of the shotgun, Manning. They handle the rush. Manning throws wide open. Anthony Gonzalez, the rookie. C.C. Brown spun him around like a top. It's a 15-yard gain through the air, and that quiets the crowd for the moment.
Well, you've got to be able to keep the receivers out of the seams. This is just too easy because he's looking for Anthony Gonzalez all the way, and they do not disrupt the timing of the passing game. Anytime you allow a free release from any of these wide receivers with the Indianapolis Colts, it's going to be an easy throw for Peyton Manning.
Call it a 3rd and 1 after the 15-yard hookup. Double tight end set, Clark and Utek. Harrison, the motion man. Handed off, Adai. And sticks the head down. He's got enough for the first down. C.C. Brown will be given credit for the stop. It's a 1.5-yard gain for Adai, and they'll move the chains.
Very favorable spot for Joseph Adai. It will result into a first down. You know, Joseph Adai says when we go no huddle, this isn't hurry up. Said he prefers the no huddle because he usually get only one play called from Peyton Manning. If they go into a huddle, he'll call 3 plays, and so there's more to remember.
Adai from Houston's southwest side, a prep star at Sharpstown High School. And he'll get the call again. Here's Adai. Little dance, and not much there. Amobe Okoye, the young standout rookie from Louisville, just 20 years old, among those blue jerseys in the area.
Well, Joseph Adai is off to a really good season. He's averaging 7 more carries per game than he did in his rookie year. Really effective. Has to do a better job inside of the red zone, but he's a 3-way guy. He can run it, he can catch it, and what an excellent blitz blocker in terms of picking up the blitzers and protecting Peyton Manning.
On a 2nd and 8, play action. Manning has plenty of time. Steps and connects with Adai, curling upfield and a little bit short of a first down. D'Amico Ryans with the hit. It'll set up 3rd and short once again, a 7-yard gain.
The Indianapolis Colts do a wonderful job of really, I think, putting pressure on every level of the defense. You can only rush 4 guys. You cannot blitz Peyton Manning in a tremendous way. As you look at Tom Moore, the offensive coordinator, the mastermind behind this offense, they put pressure on the linebackers, and obviously the secondary, the pressure is on them not to give up big plays.
On a 3rd and 1. Looking to keep this drive alive. It's Adai. Finds the opening and the first down. Out to midfield. Anthony Weaver in on the stop. 5-yard pickup for Adai.
I think the biggest pressure has to be on the linebackers. Joseph Adai is so good. They're going to spread you out. And Joseph Adai is so good at picking the holes and being able to manufacture rush yards. But as linebackers, you have to hold your water because you can't come screaming up too quickly with the play-action pass and allow the receivers to get behind you.
Colts working quickly, going with the no huddle. 4 rushes so far, 2 throws for Manning. They'll look to put it in the air here. Manning fires complete. Dallas Clark working free, and a first down for Indianapolis. Michael Boulware and DeMarcus Fagans in on that coverage. It's a 16-yard hookup.
Trying to stay with Dallas Clark and see no pressure as he moves to his right. Peyton Manning's able to get clear view of Dallas Clark. And even though you have defenders in the area, Clark's such a big target, squaring his shoulders up to Peyton Manning, allowing him to look at both numbers to deliver the pass.
Texans are rotating defensive linemen on a give for a die. On first down, breaks one tackle. A die! He got stamped! C.C. Brown with the lick. And a 6-yard gain.
Well, watch how Joseph Adai picks his way around the line of scrimmage. He can go either way, but once he gets going downhill, he's positive with his yards, finishes off the run. Boy, does he take a whack from C.C. Brown, but Joseph Adai right now is churning out the yards so far on this first possession.
2nd and 4, 9th play of the drive for Indianapolis. And here's Manning making a change. Because they get to the line of scrimmage so quickly, Manning is able to pick and choose his spots. And Manning with the quick fire to Reggie Wayne. And that should be a first down for Indianapolis against Dante Robinson. Wayne with his first catch.
Dante Robinson is having a heck of a season for the Houston Texans. Already 2 interceptions in their first 2 games. He was in tight coverage. I think Reggie Wayne just did a good job of getting underneath Dante Robinson. And once again, Peyton Manning with a precise pass where only his guy can make the catch.
And the Colts methodically going about their business on offense. After the Mathis return for a touchdown to give Houston the 7-0 lead. Inside the 25, here's Manning, play action, and Manning forced to throw it away. Everybody covered downfield, and Jeff Scanina applied the heat on Peyton Manning.
And here's where the Colts offense has struggled, at least in their first 2 games. You talk to Tony Dungy, he says most of our touchdowns have come on big plays. Last week only scoring on 1 of 5 red zone possessions as they are knocking on the door of the 20-yard line right now. They want to try to take some shots here inside the end zone by throwing the ball. Tony Dungy says we simply have to run the ball better down inside the red zone.
Nickel coverage here for Houston on a 2nd and 10. Handoff. Here's Adai. Shake and bake to the perimeter. And Joseph Adai getting a block from Anthony Gonzalez and a 9-yard pickup.
See, the Colts are able to spread you out. If they're able to spread you out, then they give the ball to Adai. See, he's already on the perimeter. Then he can get to the second level. He's able to avoid most of the Houston defenders who are stacked in the box. See, already from the time he gets the ball, he's out on the edge of the defense, and there's no one to get to him until he gets into the secondary.
Line of scrimmage is the 14 on a 3rd and 1 for the Colts. Adai the lone setback. Manning, short drop, and a quick throw. Marvin Harrison, a first down inside the 5.
Look for them to go to Marvin Harrison. He's working against DeMarcus Fagans. Gets underneath on the slant. Now, Fagans was victimized last week by Steve Smith. Had 3 touchdowns in that game. Fagans gave up some big plays. He continues to battle to improve, and boy, does he have his work cut out for him for that.
1st and goal from the 4. Manning is 5 of 6 so far. 5 different receivers. Give is to Adai, and Houston was ready. He got wrapped up by a combination of Weaver and Kalu. Give him a gain of a half a yard on the play.
As we move to 2nd down, Peyton Manning, they're in a no huddle, and now he's going to read the defense, and he's going to check to the play that gives him the best advantage based off what alignment he's going to get from the defense.
2nd and goal for the Colts. 14th play of the drive. Indianapolis looking for the equalizer. Handoff, Adai slips down. Able to sidestep one tackler, and Dante Robinson in on the stop. A 3-yard gain brings up 3rd and goal.
What they did is they checked the run to what we call the bubble. That is the uncovered lineman over to the left side. Give a lot of credit to Dante Robinson for coming up from that secondary, quickly reacting to get into the backfield to make a portion of that tackle.
3rd and goal inside the 2 for the Colts. Manning, fake the handoff, floater, caught, Clark, touchdown, Indianapolis.
We told you it's all about the play-action fake. In our film review at the beginning of the game, it's about Dallas Clark getting behind the linebacker and watch him get behind the backers as they get sucked up on the play fake. Very quick throw. If you're Michael Boulware, you've got to jam him at the line of scrimmage. He whiffs on Dallas Clark. What did Clark tell us yesterday? The timing of this offense depends on our ability to get off the line of scrimmage and beat the jam from the defensive back.
Solomon, they just made that look very easy.
Precision. Peyton Manning, his processing is remarkable.
Adam Vinatieri, who actually had a point-after attempt blocked last week in that win over Tennessee, nails that one, and it's 7-all here in the first quarter. Indianapolis Colts tie this one up. Dallas Clark told us it took him 3 years to feel comfortable in this offense with Peyton Manning and company. I think he's comfortable. He looks comfortable.
Yeah, he's earned his graduate degree in this offense from Tom Moore.
Can lightning strike twice for Jerome Mathis? Off the Vinatieri kick. And Mathis crossing the 30-yard line. That's where Houston will open up. We'll see Matt Schaub and the Texans offense when we come back. Manning to Clark to tie this one up in the first. Bird's eye view of Reliant Stadium and the Astrodome as the Texans take over. First play from scrimmage for them. Amon Green releasing out of the backfield and picking up a couple as Freddie Keaho ranged over to help make the play. Matt Schaub and the Texans, that left knee injury. So Jacoby Jones, rookie out of Lane College, gets his first start. Handoff to Samkon Gatto. Ron Dane is inactive today because of a chest injury. Dane torched the Colts defense last player of the week. The first Colt defensive back to win that award since Jason Belzer did it back in 1996. Here's Schaub to throw. Hauled in by Jacoby Jones. He is a confident young player. The Division II product. It covers 13 yards and a new set of downs for Houston to work with.
We better keep our cameras on Jacoby Jones because here's a kid that has loads of talent and lots of confidence. As you see Marlon Jackson, the defending corner, stumbles, falling down. Good thing he was able to get a hand on Jacoby Jones. He has lightning speed that can go the distance anytime he touches the ball.
Double tight end set. Daniels and Putzier with Gatto releasing out of the backfield. Here's Schaub to throw. On a short drop and the quick toss. Oh, and Daniels gets slammed down. Gary Brackett, the physical middle linebacker, limits Daniels to a 6-yard gain.
Houston come out throwing the ball. As you see Amon Green get back in. They're going to need his presence today. They want to consume time off the clock. They know the best way to do that is to pound the running game. If you get into a shootout with the Indianapolis Colts, now you're allowed Dwight Freeney and company to really tee off on your quarterback.
Sets up a 2nd and 4. Schaub 3 for 3 in the early going. Green with Leach in front of him. And Green gets the call. Amon Green sliding down Gary Brackett to help make that stop. It's a 1-yard gain for the former Packer.
Well, Brackett did an excellent job of reading the flow of linemen, getting penetration in the backfield. He's a middle linebacker that really is playing hard. He told us, he said, you know, along with Bob Sanders, we're trying to change that image. People think that we're soft because of our poor run defense a year ago. He says we have to do our best to change that. They play with a lot of speed and a lot of tenacity. It really is about all 11 defenders flying to the ball.
And last week helps. They sealed that victory against Tennessee with a defensive play. On the direct snap, a 2-yard gain. Amon Green is going to come up just a bit shy.
Oh, the spot I thought was a little bit conservative, and looks like they're going to go for it.
So on 4th and 1, how about this decision by Gary Kubiak and company?
I think it's smart. I mean, you have to have confidence in your offensive line. You have confidence in your ability to move the defensive line for the Indianapolis Colts.
You could give the Colts a very short field to work with, though, if you don't convert. So a big play here in the first, and now they're going to talk about it. Timeout, Houston. 2:15 to play, first quarter. Texans and Colts even at 7. Gary Kubiak not going the conservative route here in the first quarter. Going for it on fourth down and movement. Hard count and Raheem Brock bit.
That's something that really disappoints.
Encroachment. Number 79 defense. 5-yard penalty result of the play. First down.
If you're Tony Dungy, you're really upset because there's Raheem Brock right there. And he's going to jump. It's just a hard count. Now, see, that's a play where you beat yourself. You've got to force the other team, the Houston Texans. They're a young team. Yes, they do have a lot of confidence, but you have to force them to beat you. You're the defending Super Bowl champions. You have to play like it and force the other team to have to make a play.
So this drive remains alive with a 1st and 10 at the Indy 38. Schaub over the middle on the soft throw. Catchable ball for Kevin Walter. And a 7-yard gain. Gary Kubiak telling us that Walter does remind him of Ed McCaffrey, a guy that he knew quite well from their Denver days.
That's right. And Walter, he says, is a blue-collar worker. He said he's the poster boy for what we want all of our football players to be like on this football team. He's willing to block, willing to do the dirty things, and boy, he's going to be rewarded. He's going to have some opportunities to catch the ball to him.
Schaub is 4 for 4. Look out. Schaub throwing and hauled in by Bruner. Lost the ball. It's ruled incomplete. Antoine Bethea came up with a loose football, but the play whistled dead as Josh Thomas supplied the pressure on Schaub.
Yeah, I'm telling you, the athleticism seen by Matt Schaub on that play was incredible. You see the hit from Kelvin Hayden. Now, does he control it? Did he make a football move? They may want to take a look at it. I don't think he was able to control the football.
Yeah, Tony Dungy wants to challenge this one.
Now, he has to be able to not only catch it, but control it, and then be in the act of making a football move.
So, a challenge from Dungy. Fumble or incomplete pass? We'll find out. The MetLife Blimps. Snoopy 3 is providing today's aerial coverage. Look for the MetLife Blimps as they team up with CBS for more coverage this fall. Well, Pete Morelli and Tony Dungy had a chance to chat, and Dungy has scooped the red flag up. So no challenge on the play as to whether or not Mark Bruner had possessed the ball, which would have meant a fumble as the ball was jarred loose, or the incomplete pass, which was the ruling on the field.
And the play occurred right in front of the Indianapolis Colts bench, and I'm sure Tony Dungy had a good chance to get a good look at it. It was clear to me that Bruner never really had clear possession of the ball. He was bobbling the ball, did not hold it cleanly, and make a football move simultaneously before he was hit and lost the ball.
You can make a football move, but you've got to possess the ball.
You have to possess it, cleanly possess it, without the ball juggling in your hands.
So it's ruled incomplete, and it sets up a 3rd and 3 for Houston. Shot. Quick hitter. Kevin Walters got a first down to the 21 of Indianapolis. 10-yard pass and catch. NFL Today update. Let's head to New York and JB.
Ian and Solly, the Bills' struggling offense gets its 2nd touchdown of the season, both by this outstanding rookie. Strong second effort there by Marshawn Lynch. That makes it 7-3 Buffalo late in the first. Back to Ian and Solomon.
Well, JB, we had a chance to see Marshawn Lynch in person last week. He's got a chance to be very special.
He's a strong runner.
Amon Green, strong runner in his own right, running off tackle for a 2-yard gain. Ed Johnson, rookie out of Penn State, signed as a free agent, replacing Anthony Booger McFarland at that tackle spot, makes the stop.
You asked, what do the Houston Texans lose without having Andre Johnson in the lineup? He's a big target, and he's fast, and he's quick, and I think he's quickly moved up to become one of the elite wide receivers in the National Football League. You cannot replace him with one guy, have to do it with several.
On a 2nd and 8, it's Green again, trying to dart through the hole, and Marlon Jackson of the Colts would have none of it. Gary Brackett makes the hit. The Rutgers product limits him to a gain of maybe a couple of inches. That's it.
You're going to get multiple formations from the Houston Texans. That time they had an extra fullback in and double tight ends. You bring on the wide receivers. Try to run the ball from that formation.
End of the first quarter here in Houston. Chance to take the division lead in the AFC South all by themselves. Will it be the Colts or the Texans? We'll find out today. Ian Eagle, Solomon Wilcots, the rest of our CBS crew. Start of the second quarter here at Reliant Stadium. Better than 71,000 on hand for the Texans, and the Colts tied at 7. And a 3rd and 8 in the red zone for Houston. Flag comes down. And the play whistle dead.
False start, number 30, offense. 5-yard penalty remains, 3rd down.
And the 10-year veteran Amon Green called on the false start for Houston.
Gary Kubiak told us, hey, we have to play near perfect in order to beat the Indianapolis Colts. As you're looking for a really good opportunity here in scoring position, Amon Green has to hold his water, not move the chain or move the ball backwards. I think right now you have enough room to make a play with one of the wide receivers. You don't have Andre Johnson. Got to find some other guys to step up and make play.
Johnson, no structural damage to that sprained left knee. Schaub will set it up for Amon Green. Looks for an opening. Spilled out at the 15 and short of a 1st down. Bob Sanders helps make that stop, and Green a little bit slow to get up, and now he is limping his way to the sideline. It's been a tough first half for Green.
Yeah, it's a check down screen here. Middle screen to Amon Green. See, he just gets down. Someone falls on his leg, and he's been hobbled after a couple of collisions in this game. They're already without Ron Dane, and they're going to need Amon Green in this game today.
Sam Congatto, the 3rd stringer. 33-yard field goal attempt, and Chris Brown nails it to give Houston the lead. Early stages, second quarter, 10-7, Texans. Texans fever here in Houston. Big measuring stick game here this afternoon against the defending Super Bowl champions. A 13-play, 54-yard drive, 33-yard field goal for Chris Brown. And he'll kick it off to T.J. Rushing of the Colts. Taken by Luke Lawton, one of the up men. And Lawton takes the opening across the 30-yard line, and that's where the Colts will set up shop with Peyton Manning, who moved into 11th place on the NFL's all-time yards list last week, passing Boomer Esiason and Dave Gray. Indianapolis Colts, the only team in the NFL to go to the playoffs in 7 of the last 8 years. They trail the Texans 10-7. We're early in the second quarter. Manning bobbled and caught, now dropped. Anthony Gonzalez, it's ruled incomplete. DeMarcus Fagan's running with the football, but this play was whistled dead.
His incomplete pass.
You'll see this pass going over to the right side. See the ball is tipped. And boy, he had it in his possession and then was hit from behind. See, there's the catch and then the hit to pry it loose. That one's close.
And that's a ball that Peyton Manning expects to be caught by Gonzalez. 2nd and 10. Running play, a dive. Got a blocker, but could not break free of D'Amico Ryans. No gain on the play. Weaver helping out as well as we get another NFL Today update. And JB.
Ian and Solomon, you think there's a little pent-up frustration in Philadelphia? Take a look at the Eagles' throwback uniforms. 1st and 10 for McNabb. Up top, 68 yards. Back to Kevin Curtis. 21-7 Eagles. Back to you guys.
And here in Houston, little pent-up frustration. Manning to Gonzalez, making up for the drop. And Gonzalez brings it in cleanly and brings it into Houston territory. 24-yard reception.
Peyton Manning has been known to wait on no one. Quickly going back to Anthony Gonzalez. And the rookie from Ohio State. He's slowly but surely becoming integrated into this offense. We already said that Dallas Clark was another weapon. Well, I think Anthony Gonzalez has also become another weapon for Peyton Manning in this offense.
So a 1st and 10 at the Houston 41. On the give to Adai. And not much there. 2-yard gain for Joseph Adai. Morlon Greenwood making that tackle for the Texans.
They continue to put pressure on the defense. These linebackers, boy, are they between a rock and a hard place. We've seen the play fake that set up the touchdown to Dallas Clark. They still have to be mindful that he could stick the ball in the belly of Joseph Adai. Boy, they have to get a lot done in order to play well against this Colts offense.
Colts are ranked 3rd in the NFL in total offense, 416 yards per game. Fake the handoff. Manning, look at the time. It's Adai out of the backfield. And Joseph Adai trying to scoot ahead for extra yardage. D'Amico Ryans helps make that tackle. Ryans, a tremendous middle linebacker in just his 2nd year. Impact player.
Well, watch. Peyton Manning really wanted to go deeper down the field to Dallas Clark. He checks it down to Joseph Adai, and that's because D'Amico Ryans and Michael Boulware, they held their distance in not allowing Peyton Manning to get the ball deep.
Colts are 5 for 5 on 3rd down conversions. On a 3rd and 4. Manning checking off. Crowd getting louder. Here's Manning. Fires complete. Marvin Harrison. And a 1st down. 7 yards through the air, and they're throwing right at DeMarcus Fagans.
And you don't jam the receiver at the line of scrimmage. See the free release? He can drive down the field and just turn up and work his way back to the ball without any interruption. If you don't disrupt the timing between the quarterback and the wide receiver, Peyton Manning will pick your secondary apart.
And Manning, as expected, has been crisp. 9 of 11, 90 yards and a touchdown. Kenton Keith, the former CFL star, now in the game. Keith, long strides as he runs into his own man, Jake Scott. Also got a good block from Tony Hugo, 5-yard gain.
Oh, Peyton Manning has come out on fire. We said he had to get off to a fast start, put some points on the board early, where he came out and completed 6 passes to 5 different receivers, including with the touchdown strike to Dallas Clark. He's going to find anyone. If you're eligible to catch a ball in this offense, just get your head around. Peyton Manning is going to find you.
On a 2nd and 5 from the 23. 11 rushing plays, 11 passes. Talk about balance so far for the Colts. Out of the gun. Manning waits, throws, open man, Dallas Clark. And a 1st down. There was so much space between Clark and C.C. Brown, the safety.
Now watch Clark. See, he's open right away. After the jam, the cornerback goes in and he leaves Clark open underneath. And it just was beautiful protection from the offensive line. And then a wonderful throw from Peyton Manning.
And a 1st and goal from the 9 for Indianapolis. Colts looking for the lead. Handoff, Kenton Keith. And limited to a 1-yard gain. Anthony Weaver there defensively. Manning a little frustrated after the play. Felt that Houston had moved before the snap.
Peyton Manning, we talked about it at the beginning of the game. He processes information so quickly. He can see where, or even feel where the 11 defenders are to understand where the open receiver is going to be.
2nd and goal from the 8. Adai back in there for the Colts. Handoff. Here's Adai breaking 1 tackle. And then struggles to stay on his feet as D'Amico Ryans got him down low. A 4-yard gain and brings up 3rd and goal.
And so far, Houston, their defense, they're not giving up big plays, but you still get the sense they're playing back on their heels, and that Peyton Manning and this coach office, they're dictating to the Houston Texans defense. You say, well, what can you do to disrupt the Colts offense? First of all, I think you got to get up on the line of scrimmage. You have to jam their receivers, crowd the box, and not allow Joseph Adai to split your defensive line and gain rush yards.
11th play of the drive. On 3rd and goal from the 4. Handoff. Here's Adai. Airborne. Touchdown. Indianapolis. What an individual effort.
Wow.
Houston, we have liftoff.
And boy, did he ever launch himself around the goal line. DeMarcus Fagans, he understands he's going low, so he goes high. D'Amico Ryans comes and gets a piece of Joseph Adai, but not until he crosses the goal line. Understanding that the would-be tackler, DeMarcus Fagans, had that position as if he was going to strike low as a cobra. And Joseph Adai, boy, what a wonderful play around the goal line.
And Vinatieri the extra point. Adai's mom, Joyce, along with many family and friends on hand here at Reliant Stadium to see this. The man defied gravity. Adai, touchdown. Roof is closed here at Reliant Stadium. Indianapolis's offense is wide open, though. 14-10, Colts leading the Texans. 8:46 to go, first half. Mathis already has one return for a touchdown. Stops, cutting to the outside. And Mathis is forced out of bounds. An injury, though, out around the 17-yard line. We'll tell you about that when we come back. 14-10, Colts in front. I want to thank the MetLife Blimp for providing aerial coverage of all the drama below. Look for Snoopy 1, Snoopy 2, and Snoopy 3 when they pass through a town near you. Tough collision on special teams. Cedric Killings got the worst of it for Houston, and Roy Hall from the Colts is already up on his feet and made his way to the sideline.
Oh, it's a bad collision. There he is, number 97. Keep an eye out. It appears to be a head-to-head collision with 83 Hall. Look at that. Both guys went down.
Well, they've got the stretcher on the field right now for Killings, former 49er and Panther and Redskin. Came out of Division II. Carson Newman, now in his 5th year in the NFL, 29-year-old, native of Miami, Florida.
And you see movement, at least from the right arm
of
Cedric Killings.
Texans players holding hands about 5 yards away from the veteran Killings.
And it's so difficult to avoid those kind of collisions, particularly on kickoffs where you have so much speed and velocity behind you as you're running down the field. And Hall was just doing what he's supposed to do. It was his job to bust the wedge, and Killings was doing his job trying to keep Roy from doing that.
Gingerly moving Killings onto the stretcher.
We should note that there was movement from Killings, particularly that of his right arm. Can only hope that he's okay.
They're taking every precaution. And they're getting ready to lift Cedric Killings up. Now Texans players huddled up in prayer. The concern every time you come on this football field. The risk involved. The Kevin Everett story. Back in week 1, Buffalo Bills backup tight end, who actually 2 days ago was moved to a hospital here in Houston, and his remarkable recovery.
And the way the medical team responded in the case of Kevin Everett really allows you to have some hope for his recovery, as there have been some positive, encouraging news coming out just about every day about his recovery.
And Everett's injury took place on a special teams play where bodies are flying. There's so much activity on kickoff and punt returns.
And the speed and rate of velocity upon collision, when players make contact, they are moving so fast because they're covering so much ground before the collision.
So much anticipation for this matchup, the Texans and the Colts, and a sobering moment here at the 8:35 mark of the second quarter. The concern right now for Cedric Killings, backup defensive tackle. He got the nod over Earl Cochran today as Gary Kubiak was making a decision on who to put on the active roster. And players hovering around the 16-yard line, where Killings remains on the ground. The entire just about Texans team has made its way over to that area of the field. Colts are keeping their distance, but still very much focused on what the medical staff is doing with Cedric Killings. Houston Texans, a young football team. What a start to their season. Now a round of applause as they've gotten Cedric Killings onto the cart. Now the players make their way over. You know, you hear this all the time, Solomon, in regards to teams. They talk about their chemistry. You and I had a chance to do the week 1 game, come back here in week 3, and being in their training facility, it's for real. Now, this is a close-knit group.
Yes, they are a team that has really come together. I think it starts with their quarterback, Matt Schaub, and some of the things he did this offseason to build team unity, and the way he's played and the way he's conducted himself, and coming back on the road last week telling the defense, you guys just do your job. He said, I'll get us back in the game. And then the way he went out and performed, as you see Cedric Killings leaving the field. And this is a close-knit team, and you've got to, here he is right here. That's Killings. He's going to collide with number 83, Roy Hall. And it's almost a helmet-to-helmet collision.
Now, he went down in a heap. And as soon as we get any word in regards to Cedric Killings, we'll pass it along. As we resume play after the standstill, 1st and 10. Schaub to throw on first down. It's dropped. Vontae Leach, as players try to get their focus back after the long delay.
Now, you do have to turn your focus back to the game as Leach dropped that pass from Matt Schaub. And Schaub now has to get the energy back in this team. Try to create some rhythm within the offense. That's why you see the quick pass out to Leach, trying to get an easy completion, get the chains going. At this point, you have to focus and be able to execute.
Houston's lone touchdown came on special teams. Jerome Mathis, the kickoff return. They added a field goal from Chris Brown. And a strike to Jacoby Jones. Jones told us people fell asleep on him coming out of high school, forced to go to a Division II school, Lane College, now making a name for himself in the NFL. Coming up, Sprint Halftime Report. JB, Dan, Shannon, Boomer, and Coach Cower with the latest NFL scores and highlights. That's coming up on the Sprint Halftime Report. And actually it was here in Houston where people began to take notice of Jacoby Jones, part of the East-West Shrine game here at Reliant Stadium. Fake on the initial handoff. This will be Jones finding some space. And he's got a first down. So on the end around, a 3-yard gain. He got the angle.
You saw the speed there because he was being chased by Kelvin Hayden. You see him come around on the reverse play. And there it is. And all he has to do is have the speed to hit that first down mark. Able to beat Kelvin Hayden to the spot.
So Jones with 2 catches, 21 yards, and now the 1 rush for 3 yards. And a first down for Houston. Play action. Shaw has time initially, now forced to tuck it and run. Matt Shaw diving forward for a 4-yard gain. Darrell Reed among those Indianapolis defenders over there.
Well, you see the pressure coming from around on the outside, and watch the pocket awareness and presence at Mike Schaub. He can feel that pressure. He's not going to get caught holding on to the ball. They talked about the fact that had been a problem here in the past with David Carr. Were times where he held on to the ball, would take sacks. Matt Schaub has promised his offensive line, I'm not going to get caught holding on to the football. And you saw him there eluding the sack and advancing the ball.
On a 2nd and 5, delayed handoff. And it's Jameel Cook, 7th-year fullback, with Rocky Boyman making the stop, a 1-yard gain. Well, the David Carr and Matt Schaub comparisons, first and foremost, avoiding the sack. That stands out more than anything else right now for the Texans. Carr was consistently the most sacked quarterback in the NFL year in, year out.
You can't have negative plays. Anytime the quarterback gets sacked, it really does rob you of your momentum on offense.
On a 3rd and 4 now for the Texans. We come up on 6 minutes to play. 2nd quarter. Here's Shaw. Pump and throw. Finds the open man, Owen Daniels, the tight end. He's got a Houston first down, and it covers 10 yards.
Schaub is now starting to get into some rhythm on offense. If you catch the ball, he's delivering well-thrown passes. We saw the drop by Vontae Leach, but since then, now he's starting to get this offense going.
Report on Cedric Killings. It is a neck injury, but he has feeling in his extremities. He's being transported to the hospital for further tests. But the positive news, feeling in his extremities. Cedric Killings, who went down with an injury on the special teams play at the beginning of this drive. Handoff, Samcon Gatto. And a 4.5-yard gain. You know, Amon Green had a tough time through the first quarter and change. And right now it's Gatto who's in there for Houston. We saw Jameel Cook get a handoff earlier, and Green has his helmet off on the sidelines for the Texans.
Yeah, they're going to need him in this game. I tell you right now, you have to give a lot of credit to the Indianapolis Colts defense. They're doing a well of a job defending the run. Houston's trying to run the ball right now, only just a few yards rushing.
Inside handoff. Cook. First down. So they've got to change their approach without Green and maybe catch the Colts napping a bit. Jameel Cook, who won a Super Bowl with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, not exactly a prime candidate to carry the football.
Yeah, quick hitting play also, catching the defense off guard a little bit. Now 30 yards rushing in the game. And if you're Houston, you want to be patient with the run game. That's what Matt Schaub told us. We have to run it well enough to make them respect our ability to run it.
1st and 10 from the 41. And another handoff. It's Cook again for a 1-yard gain. So you never know when you start a football game who will emerge as a contributor. And I'm not sure Jameel Cook factored into the game plan here today. But with Amon Green banged up, it's Cook getting the opportunity in Mike Sherman's offense.
And now they're going to go with the heavy personnel, 3 tight ends and 1 wide receiver. You know that's a chance for a run play or play action.
Samcon Gatto, play fake. Colts were coming. Matt Schaub throws it with nobody in the general area. Josh Thomas applying the pressure on Matt Schaub. It sets up 3rd and 9.
No, the play didn't have any time to develop because no one blocked Josh Thomas. He was in the face of Matt Schaub immediately.
So Ron Dane, who burned the Colts last year in that Christmas Eve meeting to the tune of 153 yards on the ground and 2 touchdowns, inactive today because of a chest injury. Amon Green dinged up, so Samcon Gatto, the 3rd stringer, now in there. Schaub Forced to release it to Gatto. Can he make a play? Flag comes down. And Gatto picks up a couple. 2-yard gain on third down. Penalty marker as mentioned.
No foul on the play. Fourth down.
So fourth down for the Texans. 4th and 7. Kind of in no man's land here at the 38-yard line of the Colts.
I think you've got to do whatever you can to help your defense. If you can pooch, kick it, and pin them down deep inside their territory right now, Indianapolis Colts offense is on fire. 2 possessions, 2 touchdowns.
So the 12-year veteran Matt Turk, playing for his 5th NFL team, will punt it to T.J. Rushing, just trying to pin the Colts deep and provide them more of a challenge on their next possession before halftime. Looking to place it, it's Turk. And fair catch called for at the 13-yard line. So a 25-yard punt. Peyton Manning, that's plenty of time for him and the Colts offense. 2:49 to go, first half. Last time these two teams met, week 16 last season. Ron Dayne, 2 touchdowns, gave Houston a 14-0 lead. Marvin Harrison with a touchdown, tied the game with 2:41 remaining, but Texans go down the field. Chris Brown, a 48-yard field goal to win it. 27-24, the Texans' first win over Indianapolis, and the last time the Colts have lost a football game. Kenton Keith is in there for the Colts. 2:49 to go in this first half, and Keith gets the carry. 2-yard gain up the middle. Anthony Weaver makes the stop for Houston.
You now have to see some guys, Mario Williams making a play, the defensive linemen. They have to also factor into stopping Joseph Adai and Kenton Keith in the run game and still be able to put pressure on Peyton Manning without blitzing.
Well, this is where Manning excels. 2-minute offense, or if you want to call it 2-minute and change offense. Manning throws incomplete. Anthony Gonzalez was covered like a blanket. Mario Williams got a shot in on Manning as he released the football.
Well, watch Mario Williams. Here he comes here, and that's where he puts pressure. Talking about forcing Peyton Manning to move his feet and make him throw before he's ready. Mario Williams really has come on in the early part of the 2007 season.
He got blocked down low, which took the legs out from under Peyton Manning. Didn't affect the throw, though, but he was hurried. 3rd and 8. Colts are 7 of 7 on third down conversions today. At a shotgun formation, Manning dropped football. Gonzalez, it's incomplete. His second drop of this first half.
The rookie nearly made a costly mistake there because he, after dropping the ball, and this could have been easily ruled a fumble. See, he has it initially, and then he bobbles it. And as a precautionary measure, you've got to fight to get back on top of the ball. Clearly should have caught the ball on the pass from Peyton Manning. But nonchalantly allowed that ball to rest on the ground when it could have been ruled a catch and a fumble.
Crowd is charged up. Hunter Smith, we didn't even know if we'd see him punt today the way the Colts were moving the football. Sailing kick sends the dangerous Jacoby Jones back to the 26. Jones looking to hit the crease. And upended at the 37-yard line by Ramon Guzman on special teams. 59-yard boot by Hunter the punter Smith. A minute 56 to go in this first half. 14-10 Colts. It's going to be a learning process for Anthony Gonzalez, talented rookie out of Ohio State. The challenge replacing Brandon Stokely, who Peyton Manning called the best slot receiver in football. So now Houston takes over. A minute 56 to play first half. And Schaub over the middle to Owen Daniels. 8-yard gain through the air. Coming up, Sprint halftime report. JB, Dan, Shannon, Boomer, and Coach Cower have all the latest NFL scores and highlights. That's coming up on the Sprint halftime report.
And here's where the quarterback can take his offense to another level inside the 2-minute warning.
On a handoff, it's Jameel Cook. We've gotten no official word on Amon Green. We know that he was banged up on 2 separate plays in this first half. One in the first quarter and one early in the second quarter. And the clock is moving. 1:09. Houston is not moving with any sense of urgency here.
I would expect more of a sense of urgency from Matt Schaub in the offense. Got to get the play call in sooner. As you see Gary Kubiak talking to the officials, and yeah, the time's just coming off the clock. And I think what they don't want to do here is risk not converting the third down, then turning the ball back over with too much time left on the clock to the Indianapolis Colts offense.
Now 46 seconds left as Kubiak and the Texans take a timeout. Amon Green, it is a left knee injury to Green. His return is questionable for Houston. Right now, they're trying to convert on a 3rd and 2, not only to keep this drive going, but to ensure the fact that the Colts are not going to get the football back.
Now, one might think they wasted a lot of time. I think they are going to try to run the ball here, trying to consume as much time off the clock. They don't want to give the ball back to Peyton Manning with time for him to lead this offense to another score.
Cook, the motion man, on 3rd and 2. Here's Schaub. Protection holds up. Schaub looks for the open man, forces a ball. Incomplete. Looking for the veteran Andre Davis. Kelvin Hayden had the coverage, the cornerback. And Peyton Manning puts the helmet on, ready to go.
And now I have to question the clock management of Gary Kubiak. You allow a lot of time to elapse off the clock on 3rd down, and then you're going to throw the ball. That stops the clock, and now Peyton Manning will get the ball back, not with a lot of time, but with enough time to get some things done. Had you ran the ball, you could have run off another 40 seconds off the clock.
Indy does have timeouts, though, so the Colts could have used a timeout. But you understand the thought process on back-to-back plays, trying to squeeze out the 2 yards. Matt Turk on the punt. It'll take a roll and touched up. Could have actually rolled a little more. Spotted to the 15. Let's check out the wisdom of Solomon this week.
Let's take a look at my list of today's elite NFL quarterbacks. Tom Brady's already searching for his 4th Super Bowl title in 8 years. Carson Palmer, 400 yards passing, 6 touchdown passes last week, proof positive of his greatness. And Drew Brees led the league in passing yards 1 year ago. I think he joins the elite group. None better right now, I think, than Peyton Manning, defending Super Bowl quarterback. He's just each and every week writing new chapters in the record books, and you team him up with the offense coordinator Tom Moore, I think he's going to continue to assault those record books.
He had his 41st 300-yard game last week when he went for 312 yards, a touchdown, and a pick. And that interception, by the way, last week stopped a streak of 190 consecutive passes without an INT. All right, let's see what Indianapolis does with the 28 seconds on the clock. And a first down from their own 15. Handoff to Adai, and they'll go the conservative route. 3-yard gain.
And what did the defensive players for Houston tell us? They said, we want to limit the Colts to at least 4 possessions per half. This is their 4th possession on offense here in the first half. So right now, if you're Houston, you got to feel very good about playing keep away from Peyton Manning.
The Colts have the lead 14-10 as we hit the break. We'll come back. The Sprint halftime report, the NFL on CBS. Getting ready for the start of the 3rd quarter here in Houston. Indianapolis with a 14-10 lead on the Texans. Welcome back to the broadcast booth, everyone. Ian Eagle, Solomon Wilcots. We know for Houston, this is the biggest game in franchise history. How have they acquitted themselves in this barometer situation?
I think they're accomplishing their goals. They're not allowing Peyton Manning to have possessions of the football, and then not giving Peyton Manning the big explosive plays on offense. But you got to like what Peyton Manning is able to do in terms of his ability to be patient, getting his weapons the football.
Well, we know that Reggie Wayne, Marvin Harrison, the guys that most often are mentioned in the passing game. But last week and this week, the tight end Dallas Clark is certainly getting in on the act as we check out our Solomon film review. It's almost a replay of what we showed you right at the top of the broadcast.
Absolutely. If you don't jam him at the line of scrimmage, Dallas Clark is going to get behind you. It's play action fake to pull up the linebackers, and then Michael Boulware doesn't jam Dallas Clark. Easy throw for Peyton Manning for a touchdown. Just one of the best plays they had in the first half, and had many opportunities. You can see in terms of what both teams have done, time of possession just about equal, but Peyton Manning, when he does have the football, he's been very effective.
Numbers favor Indianapolis, and they lead it on the scoreboard as well. A reminder, this game is brought to you in HD TV. Indianapolis will have the football first to start this third quarter. Chris Brown will kick it off. TJ rushing the deep man and rushing from the 1. Here's rushing, crossing the 25 and brought down right there. Give him a 26-yard return. Peyton Manning, 10 of 14, 104 yards and a touchdown in that first half. Longest current winning streaks. This includes postseason. Indianapolis, 7 games. Green Bay, 6 in a row. And there is Houston, their first ever 4-game winning streak. The last 2 games of last season, first 2 games of this season. Linebacker Charlie Anderson hurt on the play. Medical staff comes over. Anderson able to grab the hands and flex as we step aside. Indianapolis on first down. The give is to a dive. And able to string it out defensively, hold him to no gain on the play. Travis Johnson over there to make the stop. Charlie Anderson, the backup linebacker, 4th year out of Mississippi, was okay, able to get up on his own and walk off the field to the sideline after that special teams play. 2nd and 10 for the Colts. Adai has been held in check yardage-wise, 14 for 37. He does have that leaping touchdown. Manning right over the middle. That's a clinic. Ben Utek hauls it in for a 20-yard reception.
And this is what the Colts like to do in the second half. They like to lure the linebackers up to the line of scrimmage with the play fake and then go over the top behind Morlon Greenwood to Ben Utek. And then they'll come back and just begin to strike and go after you here in the second half. They want much faster tempo on offense. 1st and 10 from the 46. Back to the ground game. Adai and driven backwards by the tackling machine, D'Amico Ryans. 3-yard gain. Well, Adai is the guy for this Indianapolis squad. You think back to last year when Dominique Rhodes was here, and Adai accounted for 51% of the team's carries, now at 84% in just his 2nd year out of LSU. 2nd and 7 out near midfield. Play action. Manning has the time, throws on the money to Dallas Clark to the 25-yard line. That's a 26-yard hookup. Just a wonderful play from Dallas Clark. He beats Michael Boulware in coverage. Boulware did initially jam him at the line of scrimmage, but Clark was able to gain separation. As you see Michael Boulware in chase mode, Dallas Clark becoming a real prime weapon in this offense, capable of really doing some special things.
Houston down safeties, Glenn Earl and Jason Simmons, done for the year. Play fake again. Manning, plenty of time, throwing, knocked away by the former Colt Von Hutchins. Marvin Harrison, the intended target.
This is one of the rare missed throws from Peyton Manning. Watch, he's going to look to his right. This ball's underthrown. It's got to be thrown to the back of the end zone, but it's underthrown, giving Hutchins a chance to make a play on the ball. And Fagans was coming underneath and had it not been knocked down, I think Fagans would have came away with the interception.
2nd and 10 for the Colts. Out of the shotgun. Harrison limited to 2 catches, 17 yards. Adai has some room. And a flag down. Flag came in at the end of that run by Joseph Adai, a 7-yard gain.
Number 71.
It's coming back.
Offense, 10-yard penalty remains. Second down.
Ryan Deem holding Anthony Weaver. And the running play is nullified.
Oh, it is going to come back, and I think we have to watch and see what materializes from here on out on this possession. I tend to believe that as a defense, and we saw the knockdown by Hutchins, the near interception by this defense, if you get an opportunity to intercept Peyton Manning, you better make the play, because if you give him second chances, he usually is going to take advantage of it and make your defense pay for not making the play.
On a 2nd and 20, Clark is lined up in the backfield, and now Manning comes to the line of scrimmage. Play clock winding down. Here's Manning out of the shotgun, rush coming. Adai releases and then surges forward for some extra yardage. That's 8 yards through the air. Jamal Fletcher in on that stop for Houston. Take CBS Sports with you wherever you go. It's free. Get live scores, breaking news, and even manage your fantasy team. Text SCORE to 99888. For more info, click on mobile at cbssports.com. It's 3rd and 12 for the Colts. That was kind of half a huddle for Indianapolis. Out of the gun. Manning steps and fires. It's complete, short of the first down. Reggie Wayne. Strong tackle by Dante Robinson. They pick up 10. They needed 12, and Vinatieri will come on.
Very important tackle from Dante Robinson. It's all about leverage. The catch is made, and you see Tony Dungy say, how can we not extend for maybe 1 more yard? Actually needing 3 from the point of the tackle.
So Adam Vinatieri on, the top clutch kicker in NFL history. Had an uncharacteristic Sunday a week ago in that win over Tennessee. This from 36 yards away, and he splits the uprights. Indianapolis extends the lead 17-10. 10:32 to play, 3rd quarter. So the Texans defense holds, but Indy able to put points on the board. Now the Houston Texans have held Indianapolis to under 20 points just once in their 10 all-time meetings. Happened back in 2002, a 19-3 Colts win, and it looks like that streak will continue with the Colts leading it 17-10. We are in the 3rd quarter. Jerome Mathis will take it back. And Mathis trying to cut it to the outside. Colts were prepared on special teams as they swarm, with Tim Jennings leading the way. 26-yard return. Matt Schaub and the Houston offense on the field when we return. Important set of downs for the Houston Texans. On 1st down, Schaub throwing, knocked up in the air and picked off. Rocky Boyman getting under it for Indianapolis. And Houston turns it over. Exactly what they didn't need.
A costly mistake. You need to keep your defense rested. The ball's going to go to Jacoby Jones. Gets him in the hand, but give Gary Brackett some credit, because he was able to pull down Jacoby Jones, not allowing him to make the catch. As the ball hits his hands, he's hit from Brackett. Ball flies up, and then the interception by Rocky Boyman.
Well, that is a killer. 1st down, Indianapolis. Manning throwing, and Marvin Harrison able to bring it in. Now, Houston wants to challenge whether or not Boyman got it cleanly, or if the ball hit the grass.
As I was watching the replay, it looked like the ball did hit the grass. But I could tell you this, it looked like he possessed it.
Prior to the ball being snapped, Houston had challenged the ruling on the field that the pass was not intercepted.
Now we're going to have to see if we have anything that would overturn the call down on the field. Remember, the call on the field is an interception for the Indianapolis Colts.
Back at Reliance Stadium here in Houston, Indianapolis with a 17-10 lead. Pete Borelli has taken a look.
The ruling on the field stands. It's an interception. Houston will be charged a timeout.
Now, there was not enough evidence to overturn it as we take a look.
Now, the ball is allowed to hit the ground, but there is no bobble of the ball after it makes contact with the ground. That would be a catch and ruled an interception. I mean, I think it's clear that, yes, the ball made contact with the ground, but after it hit the ground, Boyman still possessed it, did not bobble it at all. A clear picture of the interception and not nearly enough evidence to overturn the call down on the field.
So Rocky Boyman gets the pick. And the Colts get the ball, a 1st and 10 at the 21. Handoff to Kenton Keith. And Keith takes a shot as he lowers the shoulder. 3-yard gain. D'Amico Ryans is flying all over the field, making plays.
Also, the quarterback, Dante Robinson. Just about every time we pay a visit to Houston, this little guy is flying around and making some wonderful licks.
2nd and 7 for the Colts. Keith remains in there, and Manning throws right at the marker, Reggie Wayne. 6-yard gain for Indianapolis. Go to the new NFL.com Game Center for exclusive video highlights, fantasy stats, and more from today's games. It's all at NFL.com/Game Center. 3rd and 1 for the Colts.
Crucial play here for the Houston Texans on defense.
Indianapolis looking for a knockout punch. On a handoff, it's Keith. And 1st down, Colts. 4-yard gain. Jake Scott and Ben Utek with strong blocks up front.
And that's where your defensive line have to make a play. You've already seen how Peyton Manning's been able to draw the linebackers up to the line of scrimmage and hit the play-action pass. They have to hold their water until they're sure the runner has the ball.
Indianapolis looking for a 2-touchdown lead. Give is to Adai. Joseph Adai getting to the outside. He's in. Touchdown, Indianapolis. The zigzag from Adai. And the Colts take a commanding lead here in the 3rd.
Excellent blocking on the right side. Watch how they seal the corner. They block Sanders, 21 inside. Look at the block on Fagans by Marvin Harrison. You allow Joseph Adai to get to the perimeter. It's because of the blocking on the outside by Dallas Clark. Marvin Harrison helping Joseph Adai to run it in for a touchdown.
2nd touchdown of the day for the Houston native. Joseph Adai, top rookie running back in the NFL last season, and he's taking that next step this season. Vinatieri, the extra point. Joseph Adai, a terrific all-around back, and he has given the Indianapolis Colts a 24-10 lead. Joseph Adai got a game ball last week for his efforts in that 22-20 win in Tennessee. He might be in line for another game ball on offense with his 2nd touchdown of the day. Indianapolis extends the lead. Here's Jerome Mathis for the Texans. Stops, starts again, and a spin move gets him an extra yard, but that's about it. Matt Giordano with a stop on special teams.
You know, if you turn the ball back inside to the unblocked defender, Von Hutchins, he's going to make the tackle. But Lewis Sanders, he gets trapped inside. DeMarcus Fagans, he gets trapped inside. The ball gets clear out here. It cuts off Von Hutchins, who is unblocked. But if they turn it back inside to him, he's going to make the tackle. Fagans allows the ball to get outside. That's what we talk about, losing leverage on the football. If you don't turn it back in, it will be a touchdown.
Samcon Gatto is the running back. Quick toss to Jacoby Jones, asking him to create after the catch. And he picks up 5 yards. Well, the challenge now for the Texans, Andre Johnson out with a knee injury, not in uniform. Amon Green, a left knee injury, suffered in the first half. His return is questionable. And Ron Dane inactive today because of a chest injury. The challenge was already there, taking on the Indianapolis Colts. Now to do it without your weapons. Tall order for Matt Schaub and company now, down 24-10. There's Schaub. Protection holds up and finds a soft spot. Kevin Walter with a flag down. We'll see if Ephraim Salam was holding.
Number 74 offense.
It was.
10-yard penalty remains, second down.
So the 20-yard pass is coming back.
Or see now the offense. This is where you have to keep your poise. The maturity of a young ball club, it has to prevail. It allowed you to come back on the road last week against the Carolina Panthers down 14-0. Matt Schaub talked to the defense. They got it together, scored 34 unanswered points. And this is a tall order facing this Indianapolis Colts defense. 2nd and 15 midway in the third quarter. This is where you have to regroup, and you've got to find a way to make a play.
That was a team record, by the way, 34 points last week. Texans now in their 6th year of existence. There's Schaub, screen pass again. It's Gatto, the former Packer, fumbles the football and scooped up by Jacoby Jones. Heads up play by the rookie. So the Texans will hold on to it as the Colts were looking for another turnover.
Watch this play. It is blocked beautifully for Samkon Gatto. He does not protect the ball, and boy, are they flying around. We talked to the Indianapolis coach. He said, we play with speed and intensity, and you see it here. Wow, and boy, you can hear it and feel it. Kobe Jones, Johnny on the spot to recover the fumble from Samkon Gatto.
And now we might be seeing more of Jameel Cook after the cough up from Gatto. Schaub in trouble. That looked like a wounded animal as it made its way over to Owen Daniels. And he took a shot, Schaub did, from Keontae Dawson. It's a 5-yard pickup, and it brings up 4th down.
Dwight Freeney, credit him with the pressure on Schaub, forcing the high throw. And he comes in from the backside, and watch the pressure. See him get the push on Ephraim Salam, and the hit right in the face of Matt Schaub.
So Matt Turk on to punt it. The Texans do very little with that set of downs. And with 6:25 to play in the third, the Colts are in control. TJ Rushing waiting. And fair catch called for at the 25-yard line. 46-yard punt. Take a look at our game summary. Colts and Texans. Now Jerome Mathis, early fireworks. Kickoff return for a touchdown. But calmly, Indianapolis comes back. Ties it at 7. Dallas Clark touchdown. And then a big play. The Rocky Boyman interception helped set up the second touchdown run of the day for Joseph Addai. I guess the first one was more of a touchdown leap. And the second one was an actual scamper. 24-10 Colts. And a chance for more. Handoff to Addai and runs into the line. Picks up 2 yards as Anthony Maddox was there defensively for Houston.
This is where if you're Houston, your defense, someone has to come up with a turnover. Someone has to get the ball back in good field position for Gary Kubiak in the offense. They're standing around waiting for something to happen. I got to give credit to the Houston defense. They played hard, but not enough, allowing Peyton Manning to still work the ball down the field into the end zone.
Play fake. Manning throws, sideline route, tipped, and hauled in by Reggie Wayne. Dante Robinson was all over him. It'll be ruled incomplete.
This is just really good coverage and even better effort from Reggie Wayne to stay with the ball. See the coverage from Dante Robinson, but watch Reggie Wayne maintaining the focus, the concentration, and the sheer effort to haul that ball in. Couldn't get it initially, not even on the second, but still fighting for that third try. That ball came out. It should be ruled an incomplete.
And it was. Incomplete pass for the Colts. 3rd and 7. Manning making gestures. Here comes the rush. Manning on the move. And forced to throw it out of bounds. Mario Williams and Anthony Maddox.
It's one of the few times today we've seen pressure on Peyton Manning. We said someone needed to step up and make a play. Mario Williams getting loose, chasing Peyton Manning. He smartly gets rid of the football What did Peyton Manning tell us when we asked him, why is it that you don't take a lot of sacks? He said, nothing good happens when the quarterback holds on to the football.
Hunter Smith to punt. Well, the Texans could really use another special teams jolt. And Jacoby Jones is waiting. Long punt from Smith. Backpedaling Jones. Hole opens up. Jones trying to break to the clear. Jacoby Jones out of bounds. Hunter Smith on the tackle.
No flags are down, and we told you this kid had tons of talent and even more confidence. Took a shot from the punter, but you saw the speed of Jacoby Jones.
And Jones hurt on the play as the training staff comes over.
He landed on that shoulder as Hunter Smith came down to make the tackle. The smart thing is he understands his speed. Watch him get vertical very quickly. And then from there, he shifts it into high gear, trying to outrun Hunter Smith. And see the land there on that left shoulder.
On first down at the Indianapolis 18. Shaw pumps and throw. Intercepted by Gary Brackett. And the Texans give it right back. Brackett is brought down. And the second pick for Matt Schaub.
Matt Schaub looking to strike quickly, and Gary Brackett, his veteran presence in the middle of that defense was phenomenal. He didn't bite on the pump fake from Schaub, but understood to match up, working to his left. Watch him squeeze to the ball and makes an excellent grab for the interception. Tony Dungy and his defensive group, Ron Meeks, the defense coordinator, do an excellent job of teaching the underneath defenders to match up in their zone coverage. Reading the routes, understanding the pump fake didn't lure him out of position one bit.
Not that we didn't know it coming into the game, but it's a different offense without Andre Johnson. They just don't have that big play capability. And the Colts were able to swarm around Walter, the intended receiver. If it wasn't Brackett, there were other white jerseys in the area that might have made the play. Manning on a pump. Deep throw. Separation. Reggie Wayne makes a cut on Hutchins and finally brought down by Dante Robinson. That is textbook Indianapolis Colts offense.
The quick strike after the interception. Watch Peyton Manning. See, there's a pump fake there, and it's an out-and-up route from Reggie Wayne working against Dante Robinson. But watch Robinson. He doesn't give up. Smartly stays with it and able to make the tackle on Wayne, but not until Wayne makes a huge play for this offense.
First and goal from the 7. Manning checks off into a running play, and Kenton Keith is driven backwards to Miko Ryans, helping to lead that charge. No gain.
All right, go back to what we said earlier in the game, and we talked with Gary Kubiak, the head coach for the Houston Texans. He says we're going to have to play perfect in order to beat the Indianapolis Colts. We've seen the 2 interceptions from Matt Schaub, breakdown in coverage now on the back end. Things have really fallen apart quickly here in the second half for the Houston Texans.
Second and goal. Play action. Manning. Incomplete. High throw. Marvin Harrison tried to stab it.
Oh, Marvin Harrison had beaten DeMarcus Fagans. He had gotten open. Just a poor throw from Peyton Manning. Rarely seen. As you see, a high throw as Marvin Harrison was able to work his way and get inside of DeMarcus Fagans. That means he was open.
Third and goal. Colts looking for the dagger. Fake the handoff. Manning steps up. Manning forced to eat it. Amobi Okoye.
It's also Shante Orr and Mobe Okoye. He's that 3-technique defensive tackle. Here he is, getting pressure up the middle, but it starts with containing him and forcing Peyton Manning to step up in the pocket. Mobe Okoye, he's a 3-technique tackle. See him working and coming up the middle to get the sack. Even Tony Dungy was raving about this 20-year-old rookie for the Houston Texans.
Yeah, Dungy telling us that to him it looks like another addition with him and Mario Williams of Sapp and Rice in Tampa Bay and Dolman and Randall in Minnesota. 28-yard field goal is good, and Dungy would certainly know about those pairings as Manning is upset, unable to cash in on the touchdown, but the Colts add to their lead. Indianapolis Colts, in their history against Houston, have beaten the Texans by an average margin of 31-15. So the Colts looking to move to 3-0. Other undefeateds in progress. Green Bay losing to San Diego. New England up big on Buffalo. Looks like the Bills will drop to 0-3. Pittsburgh and San Francisco, the Steelers under Mike Tomlin, trying to move to 3-0. And Detroit in some trouble, 42-21. Wow. Philadelphia just clicking here in week 3, looking for their first win. And Jacoby Jones, that left arm appears to be the problem. We zeroed in on the shoulder off the tackle from Hunter Smith. We'll get you word on that as soon as we receive it. Jerome Mathis. A lot of activity in front of Mathis as he stays on his feet and now forced out of bounds. So Andre Johnson already out, their number 1 receiver. Jacoby Jones, the rookie, tabbed to replace Johnson in the starting lineup, and Jones right now not available to Matt Schaub. Teams who have never reached the Super Bowl, the Houston Texans on a list with the Cardinals, the Browns, the Lions, Jaguars, and the Saints. First down for Houston at the 27. Samkon Gatto forced into extended action because of the injury to Amon Green. Schaub underneath to Owen Daniels. And that's a 7-yard gain.
Obviously, Houston needing a big play, quick strike, but you take what you can get. If they're going to defend the deep pass, if you're Schaub, you're careful with the football and go ahead and check it down. For those who are catching the ball underneath the defense, you've got to be able to break tackles and advance the ball.
Now, Amon Green is taking the tape off his ankles. Left knee injury for Amon Green. Schaub, he finds Jerome Mathis getting an opportunity with the injuries at wide receiver. That's a 15-yard pickup out near midfield. It is a left shoulder injury for Jacoby Jones, and he's going in for x-rays.
Mathis is a guy with speed. He's getting into the rotation. Andre Davis also now being called into action. So they're going pretty deep into this wide receiver core.
Davis playing on his 4th team in the last 4 years, previously with Cleveland, New England, and Buffalo, a former 2nd-round pick in 2002. Owen Daniels, who figured to be a factor in this game. Daniels, a sure-handed, converted wide receiver. Now in his 2nd year out of Wisconsin, and very close to another Houston first down.
Matt Schaub is one of those guys that he can make mistakes in ball games, as you see the 2 interceptions here in the 2nd half, but he can shake it off. Well, I've been really impressed with his poise and his ability to bounce back from adversity.
2nd and 1. Now, Samkon Gatto has no room to work with. So they're going with their 3rd-string running back with some 3rd-string wide receivers, as Robert Mathis was in on that play with Gary Brackett.
One of our game points said that adversity was going to come. Who could be poised and calm and handle the adversity? I can tell you right now, it's come in waves for the Houston Texans. Injuries to Amon Green, injuries to the wide receiving core, and now Matt Schaub's got to make do with 2nd and 3rd-string players.
Here's Schaub setting up the deep ball. Andre Davis! Oh, what a the catch.
Wow.
Down at the 1.
This is more than making do. Schaub giving Davis an opportunity to make a play, and he goes right over the top of the cornerback, Kelvin Hayden, to come down with it at the 1-yard line.
End of the third quarter. 27-10, Colts. Houston offense showing some signs of life as we start playing this fourth quarter. Big play, Schaub to Davis. What a brilliant catch by the veteran Andre Davis. And the Texans now sitting on the doorstep. First and goal from the 1. Schaub, handoff. And nothing there for Samkon Gatto. Freddie Keaho. He's a good player, that outside linebacker with excellent speed out of San Diego State.
Watch the surge by the coach. You talk about speed and intensity. They actually lost yards, did the Houston Texans, on that run play from Samkon Gatto.
Second and goal now. Ball spotted in between the 1 and 2 yard line. Jumbo set with 3 tight ends. Schaub, handoff. And Gatto goes in untouched. Touchdown, Texans.
Steve McKinney, Fred Weary at the right guard, Eric Winston at the right tackle position. Give Gatto some credit. Watch how he cuts it back, but movement right in the interior portion of the defensive line for the Indianapolis Colts is a nice seam. Jams that 1 foot in the ground, and watch him come down here into the end zone.
Chris Brown on for the extra point. Matt Turk, the punter, will hold it. And after the long pass play, 41 yards, Schaub to Davis. It's Gatto who punches it in. 10-point discrepancy. 7 plays, 73-yard drive. Samkon Gatto with a 1-yard touchdown. Stepping in for the injured Amon Green and Ron Dane on that drive. Schaub 4 for 4. And the big play to Andre Davis. Chris Brown, the kickoff. TJ rushing. They'll take it in stride from the 3. Here's rushing. Takes the opening. Gets away from the kicker Brown, and rushing with an excellent return. 47 yards, chased down by Vontae Leach. Great field position for Peyton Manning and company. Here in Houston, Indianapolis with a 27-17 lead just underway in the fourth quarter. Colts with a 1st and 10 at midfield. Play fake Manning. He guns to the sideline, and it's Marvin Harrison. Against DeMarcus Fagans, that's 14 yards and a first down. TV's #1 comedy is taking you to the most terrifying place on earth, junior high. Don't miss the season premiere of 2.5 Men, followed by the season premiere of Rules of Engagement. That's tomorrow on CBS, America's most watched network. Now at the Texans 36. Manning is 17 of 25, 251 yards and a touchdown. Kenton Keith remains in the backfield. He'll get the carry. Here's Keith. Loses the ball. Oh, the Texans had an opportunity, but Reggie Wayne was there to recover it for Indy.
It's the break the Houston Texans were looking for on defense. And boy, are they still in it, playing very physical. Reggie Wayne, give him a lot of credit, saving the day. Watch the hit.
Morlot Greenwood just laid the wood. Colts hold on to it. Adai is back in there for Indianapolis. Here's Manning on the quick strike to Marvin Harrison. Goes down quickly after the catch is made. It's 7 yards and enough for a first down. With that grab, Marvin Harrison just passed Chris Carter for 4th all-time on the NFL receiving yardage list. Continues to climb up the ladder. Now James Lofton is next.
They're going to continue to go as long as Peyton Manning's throwing them passes. No reason to walk away from the game because Marvin Harrison's still playing at a very high level.
From the 25. Adai sidestepping and picks up 6 yards. That's Joseph Adai with excellent vision, taking that small crack and turning it into positive yardage.
I think he really does run with a great deal of awareness, understanding where the chain is, understanding that you don't want to take a loss, and he continues to press the line of scrimmage, and more importantly, does a good job of protecting the football.
2nd and 4 now for the Colts. It's a 10-point differential at the 11:40 mark of this 4th quarter. Manning to Harrison. He gets buried by Greenwood. Shy of a first down. He picks up 2 yards.
It's good awareness by Greenwood. He broke for that route early, and as soon as Harrison made the catch, Greenwood made the hit.
So 3rd and 2. Indianapolis red zone offense. They've come up with 3 touchdowns and have settled for 2 field goals. Texans trying to hold them here. On 3rd down. Manning. Pump. Manning. Throwing on the move. Incomplete. Lobbed it for Dallas Clark, and Michael Boulware, the safety, had the coverage. Okoye among those chasing down Peyton Manning.
Boulware is locked up in man-to-man coverage against Dallas Clark. Allows him inside, gets his head around, but it's the pressure on Peyton Manning that forces Peyton to throw the ball out of bounds. What did they tell us for the Houston Texans? We have to force Peyton Manning to move his feet. If we can force him to change his launch point when he throws the football, then our ability to be successful on defense will improve.
35-yard field goal attempt. Adam Vinatieri. And he nails it. 30-17, Indianapolis with 10:40 to go. Well, the Texans put some pressure on Peyton. Down on the scoreboard, though. Since Tony Dungy took over as the head coach of the Colts, Indianapolis is 16-2 in the month of September. Vinatieri on the kickoff. Jerome Mathis brings it out of the end zone. And the hole clogged up as he hit the 25-yard line with a flag thrown.
There is no foul in the play for player offsides.
So we'll step aside with 10:33 left. The Texans trying to muster something offensively. Back in Houston, Ian Eagle, Solomon Wilcox, the rest of our CBS crew. Both teams 2-0, looking to take over first place by themselves in the AFC South. Samcon Gatto. Look at the white jerseys swarming. Marlon Jackson among those there. A 4-yard gain. And an injury out near the 36-yard line for the Houston Texans. Oh, it's the former Colt, Steve McKinney. A leader on this offensive line, an original Houston Texan, had to battle for this starting job with Mike Flanagan, won it in training camp. Taking a look at the left leg of McKinney as Mike Flanagan is getting ready to check in. High effort player. He was playing guard. Had played guard and center. Very close with Peyton Manning going back to his days in Indianapolis. And it was the left leg that they were working on initially. He's
a veteran of 10 years, and you mentioned Mike Flanagan, who had played with the offensive coordinator, Mike Sherman, in Green Bay. So he comes in. Flanagan, a 12-year veteran himself, should plug in right away, because that battle for the starting center position went deep into training camp. So both guys, I think, are really similar in talent, very equal in size and stature. There's Mike Sherman. So he has a lot of confidence in both veterans, Steve McKinney and Mike Flanagan.
Now McKinney having a difficult time putting pressure on that left leg, so he'll get some help. Flanagan will check in. And McKinney, one of the guys that was enjoying this week the fact that the Houston Texans were being talked about around NFL circles, starting out 2-0. The word that we heard tossed around, they felt relevant.
And Dante Robinson said, yeah, you know, we're being talked about all around town, and this time they're saying good things about
exactly.
us.
Yeah, maybe I should change my statement. They were being talked about in a positive manner.
In a very positive manner.
So Flanagan steps in at center. And a 2nd and 6 for the Texans. Here's Schaub to throw. And a strike to Andre Davis. Davis was inactive the first 2 weeks of the season, and now seeing extended playing time because of the injuries to Johnson and Jones. Coming up tomorrow on CBS, don't miss the shocking season premiere of the world's #1 show, CSI Miami. That's tomorrow at 10, 9 Central on CBS. First down at the 41. 10th first down for the Texans. Here's Schaub. Jameel Cook brings it in cleanly for a 5-yard gain through the air. Marlon Jackson there in coverage for Indianapolis. How about the young corners for the Indianapolis Colts? That's a risk. You go to the Super Bowl, you win the Super Bowl, and you allow your 2 starting corners to leave, and you plug in 2 young guys.
I think Marlon Jackson and Kelvin Hayden are really fine players. Remember, Kelvin Hayden, he made the interception in the Super Bowl, ran it back for a touchdown. Jackson made the game-winning interception in the AFC Championship game.
On a spin move by Jameel Cook, he's got a first down as Schaub with a soft toss to the fullback and crossing into Indianapolis territory. Houston still can be heard from here. It's a 30-17 Indianapolis lead, but there's something that you've talked a great deal about in regards to Schaub and this team as a whole: resiliency, dealing with adversity. This is their first taste of it now in 2007.
Oh, we've seen that from him after making mistakes. He still hangs in there and plays well.
Schaub to Jeb Putzier, 8 yards over the middle.
Matt Schaub, after a couple of interceptions in his game, got it going. You see the interception to Gary Brackett, but then came back with the long ball strike to Andre Davis, leading his team down the field for a touchdown. This tells you that he does have some resiliency and he doesn't hang his head. I think that, to me, is the sure sign of leadership after making mistakes, hanging in there and playing good football.
And Jameel Cook will drive his way for a first down up the gut. 3-yard gain for the fullback. Cook now in his 7th year in the NFL, out of Illinois, signed as a free agent last year, former Buccaneer. And not even the starting fullback, that's Vontae Leach, but Cook a bit more of a hybrid and clearly showing off his skills carrying the ball today. 9 straight completions for Matt Schaub. Can he make it 10 in a row? Lost the ball and now forced to cover it up. Josh Thomas was looming for Indianapolis. So Thomas, the Syracuse product, able to make a play defensively, and that'll stall this drive at least for a moment. A loss of 5.
Then Schaub smartly recovers the ball. Eric Winston trying to block Thomas. Thomas using his speed to come off the corner and provide pressure.
2nd and 15 now for Houston. Down to 6:55 to play in this 4th quarter. It was being billed as the most important game in franchise history. Deep drop. Schaub throwing underneath to Putzier. And Putzier takes a shot from Bob Sanders in the back. Sanders a hard hitter.
He is a hard hitter. Can't say enough about the way Matt Schaub, watch how he maintains his poise and pocket presence. That pocket was collapsing, still keeping his vision downfield and finding Putzier, the open receiver, getting the ball out of his hands. Well, you love the way Bob Sanders plays. I think their ability to increase their tempo, their energy, and overall enthusiasm, many of the players say they credit Bob Sanders for bringing that to this defense.
Schaub is 23 of 29, 206 yards and 2 picks. Play fake. Schaub loses the ball. And it is recovered by Chester Pitts. Keontae Dawson with the lick on Schaub.
Now, and Schaub was forced to hold on to the ball. He's trying to get some dirt out of his eyes, but watch Dawson coming in from the backside. Steamrolls over Ephraim Salam. Schaub forced to hold on to the ball because he had a receiver coming open across the middle of the field. The protection does not hold up. You say, well, he's got to get rid of the ball. Well, he had a receiver who was coming wide open.
4th down, and the Texans forced to go for it at this stage of the game. Here's Schaub. Steps up, throwing, on the run. Catch made by Andre Davis. Will it be enough?
Wow.
It is. 1st down, Houston.
Oh, yeah. Schaub is calm under pressure. Now watch the movement. He has to move his feet, but he maintains excellent accuracy. He puts this ball on the money to Andre Davis, I should say, who's able to extend that ball and pick up the 1st down.
From the 25. So they convert on 4th down, set up a 1st down. Andre Davis again. This is the most action Andre Davis has seen in 3 years.
I remember when he was in Cleveland, he was a guy that could make some plays, had a difficult time with injuries. He's bounced around since then, but from this game today, he may have found a home here in Houston.
He was a track guy in college at Virginia Tech. And you're right, you and I saw him with the Cleveland Browns make some big plays. It was a factor for them. Hand off to Gatto, but then stops in New England and Buffalo and didn't really become part of the offense. Now he's going to give Mike Sherman and Gary Kubiak something to think about. And certainly with the injuries at wide receiver, forced into action. Andre Johnson, you just saw him limping a bit behind Kubiak and trying to cheer on his offensive teammates. Another 1st down for Houston. From the 13, Schaub throwing. Owen Daniels just short of the goal line. 13 straight completions for Matt Schaub, trying to put some pressure on the Colts before this one is up.
He has the ability to pull it together. Watch him thread the needle with this throw. The coverage was all over Daniels. I'm not sure how Schaub got it in there, but excellent ball placement just outside the reach of Rocky Boyman. Daniels makes an excellent grab on his end.
1st and goal now, under 3 minutes to play in this 4th quarter, and they'll use a timeout. 30-17, Indianapolis in front, but Houston looking to make it interesting. The MetLife Blimp Snoopy 3 is providing today's aerial coverage of the game. Well, the roof. The blimp travels over 60,000 miles a year to cover sporting events and television specials throughout the United States. Reliant Stadium, tremendous facility, 54th consecutive sellout here in Houston. And the Texans with a chance to punch this one in. Under 3 minutes to go. Play fake. Schaub throwing wide open. Vontae Leach. Touchdown. Straight completions for Schaub. And the Texans creeping closer with 2:49 remaining.
It was a play that was well designed. Owen Daniels, the tight end, number 81. Watch him stop in the backfield, but he'll pick the linebacker who can't get out on Vontae Leach. Neither can Bob Sanders.
Extra point from Chris Brown. 30-24, Indianapolis. The Texans go 14 plays. It covers 75 yards, and Schaub to Leach.
Watch Daniels and watch all the traffic, and no one is able to get out on the fullback, Vontae Leach. He dropped one earlier, held on to that one. And boy, do you love the way that Schaub leads this team. His ability to make mistakes, but it doesn't bother him. It doesn't linger with him. Vontae Leach making that catch, putting Houston back in the game.
Coming up, the Subway postgame show. JB, Dan, Shannon, Boomer, and Coach Cowher. All the latest NFL scores and highlights. That's coming up on the Subway postgame show. So, 2:49 remaining. And the Houston Texans will kick it off to the Colts. Indianapolis does have 2 timeouts to work with. Houston has 2 as well.
And that's why I would not do an onside kick here. Obviously, you don't want to give ball back to Peyton Manning, but because of those timeouts, you've got to believe your defense can make a play. I don't think you'll risk the onside kick here.
Now the Colts are prepared for it. We'll see what the strategy is for Houston. It's a great point, because now you've got to look at the time and also have to trust your defense one way or the other. Brown will kick it. It's short to Rushing. And T.J. Rushing just ducks out of bounds after the 9-yard return. So Peyton Manning will come on to operate this Indianapolis offense. If they get some first downs and they get some rhythm, they'll move to 3-0.
Well, if you're Tony Dungy, this is what you want. 6-point lead, just under 3 minutes on the clock left in this game, and the ball in the hands of Peyton Manning. And I think if you're Houston, you've got to pick your poison. Do you crowd and stack the line of scrimmage, pressure Peyton Manning, swarm to Joseph Adai, and force him to get rid of the ball? But if they pop one on the back end with a pass play, it's lights out, game over.
Let's see how far this Texans team has come in 3 short weeks. Handoff to Adai, a flag down. Adai keeps running.
False start, number 71. Offense, 5-yard penalty. Remains first down.
Well, that's Ryan Dean, the 7-year veteran, dependable right tackle. And they'll back it up, making life a little more difficult for Indianapolis. Yeah, Tony Dungy continues to tell people we play in a tough division. And he thinks people's reaction is that, well, he's just saying that because he has to say it. He looked us in the eye yesterday and said, look, these teams have improved.
And Houston has won 4 in a row coming into this game. And the Tennessee Titans, you go back, look at the way they finished last year and started this season. I think there's some proof to what Tony Dungy is saying.
Clock issue right now. It showed 2:47. They'll put 2 more seconds on it. 2:49 left. Crowd is juiced up here in Houston. 1st and 15. Ground game. Adai. And Joseph Adai with a good carry on first down. 5 yards to get back to the original line of scrimmage.
Boy, watch his awareness. He's able to fill the soft areas of the defense. And when he gets out here, you can see the ball's going to have to come all the way back in here because that's where there's room to run. He understands that they have it contained out on the edges, and watch him get back underneath. Many of the defenders over pursuing, and Gary Kubiak is saying, hey, get up there and make a play on the ball.
Well, Houston used the timeout. They only have 1 remaining. Stop the clock with 2:41 left in the 4th.
They want to create a situation where they put the Indianapolis Colts in a 3rd and long situation. After the penalty, Gary Kubiak was not happy with how many rush yards they gave up on the first down play. You want to force them into 3rd and long, and then you can become more creative. Maybe even blitz Peyton Manning, tighten up your coverage on the back end.
Remember, they lost a timeout from the challenge earlier this half, the Rocky Boyman interception that Gary Kubiak wanted the officials to take a look at. So they have one timeout remaining. We'll call it a 2nd and 9 for the Colts. Adai, lone setback, play fake, Manning throwing, on the move, first down, Indianapolis, Marvin Harrison, they'll move the chains.
DeMarcus Fagans in coverage, man-to-man coverage with Marvin Harrison, and watch the cushion. Just way too much room as Harrison breaks it off. It's a comeback route. Plenty of time for Manning to get rid of the football. Fagans has to tighten it up in that position. Too easy of a throw and catch for the Indianapolis Colts. Picking up a first down and now in a position to chew even more time off the clock.
Houston has called its final timeout. They'll still have the 2-minute warning in their favor. But Indianapolis now controls their own destiny.
Tony Dungy speaking to Peyton Manning, saying, you get to the huddle, tell everyone, no penalties. They were able to avoid the penalty on the first set of downs, and now facing a 1st and 10, you can only hurt yourself if you're Indianapolis. Tony Dungy just relaying the message. Can't afford a penalty here.
Even if Indianapolis didn't get another first down, if they ran it 3 consecutive times, Houston would be looking at about 35 seconds left to work with. Another first down, and it's over. Manning on the ground. It's a dive, turning it upfield. And he picks up 2 yards to Miko Ryans, along with some help defensively to bring him down. So the clock is rolling. We'll hit the 2-minute warning with the Colts facing a 2nd and 8 from their own 42. They are 8 yards away from securing a 3-0 start here in 2007. We're coming right back. Indianapolis with a 30-24 lead on the Houston Texans. 2 minutes to go in this 4th quarter. Colts with a 2nd and 8. Texans have no timeouts remaining. The give is to Adai, cuts it back, and limited to 2 yards. Anthony Weaver there defensively. Coming up, Subway postgame show. JB, Dan, Shannon, Boomer, and Coach Cowher have the latest NFL scores and highlights. That's all coming up on the Subway postgame show.
Now look for Peyton Manning to run just about every inch of the 42nd clock. Hitting the snap right about 1 second left on it, trying to take as much time off the clock as possible. Now looking to convert here on 3rd down.
On a 3rd and 6. Keep it on the ground. Adai battling. Didn't quite get to the marker. So the Texans will get the football back. Von Hutchins among those there defensively for Houston as the clock continues to tick, under a minute left.
It was a well-designed play. I thought they had an opportunity to get it. Adai just coming up about a yard shy, but the play design is beautiful.
Still 12 seconds on the play clock. So now you're looking at about 22 seconds or so that the Texans will have to work with.
Delay of game. Offense.
They'll take the delay. It'll give Hunter Smith a little more room to work with.
Indianapolis has called a timeout. 2nd timeout, Indianapolis.
So 25 seconds left on the game clock.
Well, this is where injuries continue to come back to haunt the Houston Texans. Jacoby Jones doing a wonderful job returning punts. He left the game with a shoulder injury, and now Dexter Wynn is back deep. Certainly Jacoby Jones, a guy that's capable of really making an impact. We've already seen him explode for a big play on one punt return earlier in the game.
Dexter Wynn, a former Philadelphia Eagle, has been a solid reserve for the Texans, but forced into punt returning duties because of that injury to Jones, as you mentioned, Solomon. Win in his 4th year out of Colorado State. Texans will look for a block here to set themselves up. And here we go. Hunter Smith gets rid of it and sails this one unreturnable to the end zone. A touchback to the 20. 51-yard punt for Smith. 19 seconds remain for Matt Schaub and the Texans.
Really good use of clock management for the Indianapolis Colts. Picking up first down and then eating as much time off the clock, not giving Matt Schaub much to work with it. Now, if you ask me, what do you do here? You've got to try to get a high-low. This, with 19 seconds and you're throwing the football, should allow you at least maybe 2, possibly a 3rd play.
No timeouts remaining. 19 seconds left on the clock. Indianapolis with a 30-24 lead on the Texans. Out of the shotgun. Schaub flush. Schaub in trouble and sacked. Robert Mathis gets there. Clock is moving.
And no timeouts for Houston.
4 seconds left. And that's it. Business as usual for the Indianapolis Colts. They improved to 3-0, and the Texans